to meet you all. So last but not least, we're from the Chronus Consulting Limited group, and my name is Emily Chan, and over here are my fellow colleagues, Emma Monroe and Matthew Kwok. So we'd like to tell you guys a very special story today.
I'll pause for you.
Is it? Oh.
You said it. How are you saying it? On, off.
On and off.
Or maybe the last group.
Did you unplug something over there? Or maybe.
Is it this?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Alright. So like I was saying, today we're going to tell you guys a very special story. So this is Eugene, and he's kind of like the new kid at school, you know, very awkward, but he's polite, he's intelligent, and he knows what he's talking about. But Eugene has no friends, and he's very jealous of the clique, which includes the internet, Facebook, and Twitter. So Eugene has a mission, and his mission is to make friends. So Eugene did a little bit of investigating, and he's consulting with us at Chronus Consulting Limited, and he asked us what he should do to achieve this goal. Now, we pointed out to him that he had one major problem, and that the newsprint market is phasing out, and we realized that a cycle was causing this problem. So there are a lot of changing demographics. There's currently a new generation emerging of tech-savvy people, a lot of technologically advanced users, and that led to lower readership for Eugene because not a lot of people were going to read tangible newsprint anymore. And also companies also shifted to less expensive online advertising since everything became online now. Also, during a recession, the first thing that a company cuts is advertising. So online advertising is less expensive and there's definitely more viewership. But for Eugene, it meant that he had a weak revenue stream. So we told him that he should have two objectives. Eugene should increase readership by having 1 million hits online per month by November 2012, and he should increase his revenue to $200,000 by November 2012. And he has other goals as well over a 5-year span. So we told him that this criteria, these 5 points of criteria, are the most important to make his mission a success. We have readership, sustainability, profit, risk, and cost. We at Chronus Consulting feel that this is the most important because having readers creates sustainability. And then having an audience allows us to determine how we can profit. And having a business that's low risk and low cost will make Eugene's mission very successful in the end. So now I'll be passing this on to Emma, who will be explaining to you guys about the strategies for Eugene to complete his mission.
Thank you, Emily. So we have come up with 4 strategies for Eugene. The first strategy is a penetration strategy. It is to increase brand awareness. By increasing brand awareness, Eugene will gain more friends, and more friends equals a happy Eugene. The second strategy is through market development, and it is to target a higher income demographic. By targeting a higher income demographic, he's targeting his friends with more money, and Eugene likes money. The third strategy is through product development, and this is to expand product platforms. By creating more ways to meet these new friends, he will in turn gain more friends. And through diversification, by becoming multicultural and expanding his horizons by learning a couple new languages maybe, and being able to really encompass meet a lot of new friends by knowing these new languages. So some of the tactics to accompany these strategies are to capitalize through online advertising. By going online, Eugene is able to make a lot of new friends. There's tons of people online, and by increasing the target demographic, Eugene will be able to optimize his friendship count. And through offering a higher-end magazine, Eugene will target his friends with more money, and of course, more money equals happier Eugene. and through creating a news application. By having a news application on the go on his iPod, on his iPhone or iPad, he is able to show his friends the latest and greatest news stories on the go, whenever, wherever. As well as to offer multilingual editions of the newspaper printed in Chinese and Indian languages. This will help attract the target demographic in Canada, which is very multicultural. So now we have come up with an evaluation of how to choose the best option for Eugene. We have our strategies along the top and our 5 criteria along the side, and all of these are marked out of a total of 10. So for online advertising, a couple standouts were the readership level is very high for online advertising. However, the profit is not very high. As for the high-end magazine, the readership is very low. Same with the cost the cost is very expensive, and this is quite negative. For multilingual editions, it has a high readership and high sustainability. However, the profit is not ideal. The option we chose for Eugene was to create a news application rather, which is very sustainable and has a low risk. I will now pass the floor on to Matthew, who will discuss the implementation strategy.
Thank you, Emma. So in terms of app development, we all know that this will take a while to program it and do testing, as well as requiring feedback through the app. So it takes a while for programming the first initial stages and requiring feedback once it's placed into the market. So we see this over in terms of at least a year to a year and a quarter. This is important because, again, we want to make this work. We want to acquire the market share, as well as we want to solve all the bugs and problems that the program can cause. Now, in terms of launching, we'll be launching in April of 2012. So we'll create reader feed, as well as provide test and maintenance. And then following words, based on the evaluation on the outcome of the application, from the feedback, we can continue on the maintenance. Now, in terms of financials, there are 2 ways how Union Jack will focus their finance on, which is premium users and small business users. Now, premium users are high, such as Guardian, as well as Rogers, which you'll see an annual average case scenario of $70,000, and a small business scenario for businesses, which range from a minimum of $500 to $500, is about $100,000. So in terms of overall revenue, the average for the year will be $170,000, but in terms of profit, it will be $59,000. So on a $20,000 investment, which it takes $5,000 to build an app and $15,000 to actually revamp and rebrand your website, on an overall, a return on investment of 285%. So in the terms of long run, it's actually very profitable. For worst case scenario, however, there's still a 267% return on investment, but you still acquire a profit of $53,000. Now on to Emily, who will finish up.
Okay, so ultimately, us at Chronus Consulting, we told Eugene that he should create a news app. And by creating a news app, Eugene will gain the most long-term friends. And the app will originally cost about $15,000, but in the long run, it will gain him 1.8 million new friends. And it will result in a happier and wealthier Eugene. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So let's quiz you.
Well, I'm a finance guy. I like the percentage. Go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
What the 285% ROI? So you're suggesting 15 grand, set up the apps. Those would be the revenue you would be expecting, only from using that apps. And there's no maintenance cost, nothing, future development, investment in it?
There was consideration, and that was already deducted based on our calculations of profits. So that was our return on investment overall, and we carefully took consideration of maintenance fees as well as salaries and other pays, and we still end up with a relative number of 284%.
But then this number wouldn't hit, or the profit wouldn't hit my book until 2 years after, right? It's a type of development. And Then why don't I just buy someone? Do I buy an app from somewhere?
Well, even if you buy an app from somewhere, it still takes quite a amount of time to develop. So even then, it will take a while for you to hit your goals. So we believe that actually it does factor in terms of additional outside people who are actually building the app for you. So this is actually your return.
I have a few questions. You just tell me you can't ask questions. I'll say go first. All right. I don't know what we're talking about. What app? What are you doing with this? Let's do it.
Now, the application is provides, as we know, applications are connected to the internet. The application immediately takes you to the news feed. So you can browse through what articles you're interested in, what the latest.
So now
updates.
you go back again, because doesn't this thing say that the website is crappy?
Yes, but again, this is taking consideration that we revamp and we also re-image, like you
Oh,
mentioned in the
okay.
implementation
So
plan.
now there's more an implementation plan. All
Yes.
right.
So
what
when
are
we
you
say
doing?
the application here and use feedback, this also includes revamping of the internet. That's where we said programming development.
Right.
So this is where we'll be adjusting, making changes to the website to rebrand themselves and give them opportunity to work on it and then work on, and the app will connect to the new website.
Will the website be will the website be different or the same as the newspaper? In other words, will the website just be an online version of the newspaper?
It'll be slightly different because with the news app, it'll be a little bit more interactive as well. Because there's definitely a whole different strategy with it. Because when you're creating apps, you have to think of like all the math behind it, like all the algorithms and things like that. And we're trying, with the app, we were thinking about creating some like an interactive interface where it would also, some of the articles would lead to a video feed to any news videos that are related to what the article is talking about.
So in 5 years, sorry, do you want to say?
Oh, and also, like, if you were looking for current top articles, rather, on a certain subject, you could search in the search engine within the website and find all, like, topics of that.
Okay. Now, if I look down the road, I don't know if it's 5, 10, 15 years, am I going to have print and online equal? Or am I going, because right now I have print. So am I going to print and online equal, or am I going one way or the other?
Well, with the app, you're slowly phasing out of print and moving towards online more, because more people are online and reading the newspaper on their commute to work on the bus, on their mobile devices, and so that is essentially the future of newspapers, and that is where the market is heading.
Sure.
Well, with the latest trends, it's
I
particular
don't-
in North America.
Are you sure?
I believe that is future, yes.
Okay, now you can go.
With the latest trends in North America, newspapers are phasing out. So it is important to focus on adjusting to that new trend, especially with shifting demographics where technology is, the more advanced, the better it is. People are more interested in advanced technology. And a lot of focus on eco-friendly, so saving paper and protect the environment. Those movements are becoming big. So shifting to online is actually more effective than actually, and as newspapers are phasing out, we can actually, might as well take the lead before things happen.
Okay, yeah, I got a couple questions. Start one. Can you go back to your 4 option slide? No, one more.
Tactics or strategies?
Okay.
Strategy.
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 Now you're saying, no, actually,
These
no,
are all the strategies at
you're,
the top.
Top of the strategies.
Yeah.
you want to create a news app, and that is how you're going to get so many million viewers or so. There are so many news apps across Apple Store, things like that. How is your company going to compete against all those apps?
Well, those applications do require money in terms of in order to actually be installed. We're actually suggesting on making it free, so that creates awareness and opportunity, as well as people who are specifically interested in British news will actually come to seek this app.
The quality of Union Jack is also much higher than the standard newspapers that are out there, and the quality of the articles are of a higher degree, so it will be more attractive to people who prefer that kind of quality. That's
Catching the
advantage of them.
Actually, can I
all free. So
exactly what API or what platform are you going to be programming on? Like, are you programming for Android where majority of the apps are free, or are you planning for Apple type of, like an iOS type of device, or the applications would cost money?
The applications would be free to download. Money would be generated through the advertising of the high viewing rate of these apps. And
Well, again, this is based on because small businesses and corporates want to advertise, and they'll charge you. You can charge a fee, which is stated, which Union Jack has stated that $25 for a minimum count per 1,000 clicks, 1,000 impressions on the website. So, and for small business, it's $500. So every $1,000 in terms of impressions or directions to the site will generate the revenue.
But why would I pick you then, if I'm a small business?
Because we're higher quality in terms of the news, as well as, in addition to that, we also provide.
Don't forget though, the bottom line is your newspaper or my newspaper is a niche market newspaper. So if your target audience is not in alignment with my target customer, why should I advertise with your apps, which is only reaching a particular group?
these apps actually reach a way larger demographic.
Well, you show the exposure of it, but doesn't really mean that I would download it.
That's true. It is free, so that is.
Well, doesn't mean that
representative.
but I've limited space on my cell phone, right?
So, yeah, for me what was missing is what is the audience you are going after? Because if you say that this is penetration, you assume you are going after the same audience, the old folks, who may not be the most likely consumers of that app or downloaders of that app.
Does say any demographic, they should have the question, but it does say demographics is
Right.
which means to me, I assume the write-up means that it's the same kind of population, so it's not.
Tilted towards the older folks.
No,
Well,
according to the way the thing is written
Well,
out.
look, I want to ask you one thing. Application development is very fast. What are you going to do afterwards? Are you just going to make an app and, what are you going to do?
Again, it's after making that, again, there are changes because we have to see how the market trends and how they affect the applications. So, and as well as provide feedback. So again, this continuous cycle of maintenance as well as updates to improve the app and how it interfaces with the users.
So in between this testing period, you're not posting any advertising.
No, we will still be posting advertisements. But
So revenue start immediate.
yes.
And as Emily mentioned earlier, we will have other multimedia links within our site and within our app to show you live footage of news topics that are being discussed within the articles on the page.
One question. In your earlier criteria, you mentioned risk. Define risk.
Risk would be associated with how well the change in introducing the app will take on the current customers so far. And right now, the problem that we're looking at is that UJ, it wants to expand to a younger demographic. So we said that as long as it did not completely make the current customers obsolete, we would say that our strategy is low risk because it's transitioning the Union Jack newspaper into a new demographic, but also it's still catering to the current one right now.
So your risk is, in terms of overall evaluation-wise, is the retention of the existing readership.
Yeah, it's the retention, but also the transition into like a new demographic as well.
Can I quickly see your strategy matrix or your decision matrix?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to the other one, we had the market penetration, the next one back, that right there. The one you're doing, with the app one, is actually, which one is it?
Expand your product line
Yeah, so you're actually,
through product development.
you're doing the same market.
Yeah.
So you're same market, new product,
Yes.
which means same product, basically.
Correct.
So I wouldn't use that, it's more like allowing more channels of distribution. At the end of the day, you are a newspaper company. So you're basically finding more channels or place in marketing terms to deliver your product. Right?
Yes, because this is the option that reached our objectives most successfully.
I think we do some feedback. Thank you very much.
I think there are some good ideas. I just had trouble following the flow somehow. From what are the criteria to what are the options to then what those options mean to which one you selected and then how you want to implement it. It's just that I had a bit of trouble going from the strategy to the tactics and see what assumptions were built in.
I'm going to disagree with my esteemed colleague here. I thought the flow was phenomenal. I like the creativity of Eugene. I like that idea because it gives the interest there and follows your lead. The only weakness part was the implementation really didn't come through until you got to the question periods, and then it was clear you understood it. It's just that it wasn't there, and so I had lack of clarity of exactly what it is you were recommending. But I like the flow.
Do you think they will make money from the app?
Oh, I didn't ask me that question. Okay.
That's the goal you are trying to answer?
I think so, yeah. I think they would make money at it. Is it the best strategy? Not necessarily, but I like the way they did it. There you go.
By expanding the product platform, you chose quite a technical solution, and you guys just didn't have like the depth, I think, to go with, to really support that. Like I really wanted to know what you were programming it on. Just to state that you're making an application with actually, is it going to be like a Facebook app, or iPhone app? There's like a lot of different ones out there, and it would have been nicer if you further developed that.
He's a technology guy, that's what he was.
It's all about tech. So I got two comments. The first is strategy tends to be, correct me if I'm wrong, judges, but strategy tends to be more long-term to how to get you to the vision. You create an app. That's not long-term. Second one was that, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but expand product platforms, you're still delivering the same product. You're still delivering British news in a different way, that to the same audience or something like that, right? That is market penetration.
That's true.
Same product, same market,
Different channel of delivery.
yeah, different channel delivery. Okay, that's. But I love Eugene's idea. Copy mine.
Well,
Right.
mine were different, but well, first let me come down on my presentation and flow is okay. I follow through. Like the idea of the cartoon, but you guys carry it a little bit too far. Trust me, in real life, I would like, if I'm hiring for creativity marketing company, that focus on that maybe, but just maybe a brief about a story, and then you can go back to the standard business terms, okay? Because otherwise, I mean, it's just gonna be too much. In terms of vision, again, you guys do not deliver what's going to help it on there. You guys created saying that I expanded the channel, like the product, or how I see is the channel of delivery, but doesn't bring out the idea of how you're going to sustain for the long run. You're just saying that this will give a lot of audience choice, but then what is the direction, the strategy that will keep it there, that keep the circulation of the newspaper or this existence of this, like, or the ad revenue when it comes in? You have no direction on that. Okay, you just think that building an ad, people would like it, will sell by itself. That's never going to happen. I'm a finance and risk guy, that's why I asked you the risk question. You have to define the risk clearly whenever you use that term. Risk is a very vague point, and then risk of losing another company or lose or reputational or being sued by the British government because we cover so many royal family dirt, right? Number. Anything over 100% ROI, ROE, whatever, you caught attention. Stock market doesn't even deliver more than 20%. So you have to be really careful when you give that kind of percentage and over how long. You can't simply exaggerate it 20% when it's over 3 years. Right? So just a presentation side of it. Thank you.
I just have one more comment about story-wise. Now, I'm a story guy. I make stories all the time. It was a good story. You follow through like that, but it's not suitable for professional sense. You know, you're basically saying Eugene is a schoolboy and you want more friends. You want to treat him more mature. I like it.
Mature. Mature.
Gilbert.
Thank you.
Goldilocks. Thank you.
Thank you.